Welcome back, occultists, to another video. Have you ever had anyone obsess over you in an unhealthy way? If so, strap in for this next story. Before we begin, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Let's get 10 likes on this video. Comment below what topic you would like to see covered next. My name is Ethan, and I've always believed that every person has a story to tell. But some stories, like mine, are steeped in fear and obsession, a chilling reminder of how quickly normality can spiral into terror. It began with a new hire at our office, a seemingly harmless event that soon turned my life into a living nightmare. Her name was Clara. She joined our marketing team, and from the first day, I noticed her. Not for reasons you might think. It wasn't attraction or intrigue. It was the way she looked at me, a gaze a little too intense, a smile a little too forced. I brushed it off as social awkwardness, but as days passed, her behavior grew increasingly strange. She would leave notes on my desk, seemingly innocent at first, but then more personal, comments on my appearance, my habits, things I hadn't shared with her. I confronted her, politely asking her to stop, but it only seemed to encourage her. Things escalated quickly. I started seeing her everywhere, near my home, at my favorite coffee shop, places I frequented outside work. It wasn't coincidence, it was clear she was following me. I reported it to HR, but without concrete proof, their hands were tied. Then the break-in started. The first time it happened, I came home to find my apartment amiss, objects moved, clothes strewn about. Nothing was stolen, but I could feel the violation of my personal space. The police were called, but there was no evidence, no sign of forced entry. I changed my locks, installed security cameras, but the feeling of being watched never left me. I was a prisoner in my own home, jumping at shadows, every noise a potential threat. The second break-in was more direct, more terrifying. I woke up in the middle of the night to find Clara standing at the foot of my bed, my clothes in her hands, her nostrils flaring as she inhaled deeply. I froze, horror and disbelief rooted me to the spot. She smiled, a twisted, chilling grin. "I just want to be close to you, Ethan," she whispered. The intrusion of my home, my bedroom, by this obsessed woman shook me to my core. I called the police, and this time they caught her red-handed. Clara was arrested, charged with breaking and entering, and stalking. My colleagues were shocked, unable to reconcile the quiet, unassuming woman they knew with the person in my horror story. Clara lost her job, and the courts issued a restraining order after her release from jail. But the damage was done. I was haunted by her presence, her obsession. I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, the fear that she would return. Sleep became elusive, a nightly struggle against shadows and memories. Even with Clara behind bars, the sense of safety in my own home was shattered. I moved to a new apartment, but the fear followed me, a constant, unwelcome companion. Therapy helped, a slow and painful process of healing and coming to terms with what had happened. I learned that Clara had a history of obsessive behavior, that I wasn't her first target. It was a small comfort, a bitter realization that I had unwittingly become the focus of her disturbed world. As I rebuild my life, I'm more cautious, more aware of the people around me. The experience has left me wary of forming new relationships, a protective barrier against potential harm. Now, when I look back, I see Clara's story as a tragic one, a life consumed by an obsession that led to her downfall. And in my story, I see a survivor, someone who endured a nightmare and emerged stronger, more resilient. The shadows of that time still linger, a reminder of the fragility of normalcy and the hidden dangers that can lurk in the most unexpected places. But I refuse to let fear define me. I've learned to look for the light, even in the darkest of times, to cling to hope when all seems lost. My story with Clara is over, the chapters closed and sealed. But the lessons it taught me, the strength it instilled, remain. I move forward, one cautious step at a time, into a future where the shadows of the past no longer hold power over me.